Good morning and welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Happy Friday to you and your family. Taking a look here at Quant. Got a lot of requests for this. In fact, I see a pretty definitive support level that we need to kind of look at and pay attention to here today and see if that's going to be a new resistance or if we can reaffirm that as a support after breaking through it. So this is actually looking very healthy, very strong. We're going to kind of look at that and much more. So if you're new to the channel, greatly appreciate you joining us here. And obviously, we're going to draw out some Fibonacci retracement levels and make sure we get perspective on key supports and resistances, and obviously right there about 107, 108 is a definitive support / resistance zone. So we'll discuss that. If you are new to the channel and you were recently impacted by BitGet KYC in the US or just BitGet in the US kind of restricting users there, we got you covered. BINGX, link down below, $100 trading bonus. I think there's only a few slots left, so make sure you check that out, of course. But you can be in the US, Canada, Europe, Oceania, UK, not have any trouble with VPN or KYC requirements. So thanks again, BINGX, for allowing us to be able to facilitate our members with that. Also, of course, if you are using BitGet, continue to use them if you're in another country. They're a great exchange. We have trading competitions with them monthly as well. So both links are down below if you want to consider either one. That being said, QNT, let's take a look here. First of all, what we want to look at is a small handful of things, right? So on the daily, we want to kind of peek at a few key factors here. Let's take a look at the RSI. We can see we're peaking right above there, okay? And I say peaking because we haven't technically closed above this candle yet, or this resistance level. Keep in mind, this candle's still new. That being said, we have about, roughly about 7.5 hours before today's daily candle closes. So we need to recognize that we're still a little premature in this run, but it's still looking very strong. There's a lot of reasons why this should continue, but we don't want to assume it is until it's done, right? So we want to wait until the price action closes above that level. Taking a look down here as well, we can see the MACD is shifting bullishly, but hasn't officially converged. But the bottom line here is that if we were to close above 50 on the RSI, that'd be extremely important, okay? That's a very big deal there. That said, we're not there yet. Be patient. That's why you typically always try to wait for a candlestick closure and base some of your trades off previous highs and previous lows. Okay, we can see that the previous high is obviously as high as about 120, and the previous low here just this morning, as a matter of fact, was about $95. You can see that was retested 3 times before the price bounced and took off. So cool stuff here. Nonetheless, we want to take a quick peek here over at the moving averages too. And this is, I wouldn't say this is disadvantageous because again, the candlestick hasn't closed yet, but you can see here right there, clear as day, the 50-day simple moving average right there, average about 108. Okay, so it's really important to close 108 or higher today from QNT. That's what I'm going to be looking for as a potential continuation here, because a lot of times what happens when you break through a resistance level like this, the price will come back down to retest that support, that previous resistance, and then take off from there. Okay, so I'm hoping to see a little bounce, maybe buy the dip there at about 108 roughly. Okay. We'll see what happens between now and then. We've got only 3 4-hour candles continuing upwards, so we're at a 3 out of 9 on TD sequential. We can see down below as well, we are peaking at 70 on the RSI. Okay, so keep in mind, resistance at 70 on the RSI is very common when it comes to the 4-hour time frame. But we can also see we got a MACD convergence here too, of course, that little bounce. So long story short, we're bullish on the 4-hour, but we're becoming overextended not on the duration of trades, right? Because this could very well continue for another 6 to 12 4-hour candles. We really probably got another 24 hours of continuation potential. What I'm getting at, though, is RSI. Unless we can break through 70 on the RSI, which is pretty close to this Fibonacci level here, about 110, we're going to probably consolidate right in this range here, about 108. So my speculation here, just based on this limited data we've looked at so far, is a potential rejection at 110, 111 to come back down to bounce off 108 and inevitably higher. That would be my anticipation based on what we're seeing here so far. Once again, reaffirming 70 at the RSI as a resistance. If we break through 70, we continue past 110, that could reaffirm itself as a support, and that would tell us that this Fibonacci level here at about 0.382 would effectively be continuing higher. That would be the new support. We'll talk about that a little bit later, of course, but generally speaking, that's positive. Now, this is where duration comes into play. We take a look at TD sequential, we're going to be at an 8, almost a 9 here. What that basically means is we've been continuing for a straight 8 hours, okay? Now, that's not bad. There's nothing wrong with that. Just note that when you hit a 9 on TD sequential, it's common for prices to pull back and turn themselves around. So if I was a gambling man, which I'm not, but if I was, I would probably consider shorting the 110 range if we make it up there. Okay, I'm not saying to short down to this level. The probability of getting that low is pretty low unless Bitcoin pulls back to 25,000. Keep in mind, I just made a Bitcoin video and discussed the reasons why Bitcoin should be back on track. And at this point here, unless we see a retest 25K, QNT should hold strong, okay? So That being said, this is Bitcoin hanging out right there at about 25.8, whereas QNT just continued to go higher. So good news is here, there's probably some fundamental catalyst that pushes this up here, and it's proving rather to be self-sufficient from Bitcoin. But once again, a strong sell-off from Bitcoin would absolutely drop the price here for QNT. All right, that's why you want to pay attention to Bitcoin and make sure you always understand, set alerts there. If you see some kind of craziness, it might translate over to some other coins like this. Okay, but for now, looking pretty darn strong. And so again, I would say one more hour before the price would either stabilize, go sideways, consolidate at support at 108, or it loses that support and comes down lower. That really just depends on Bitcoin, in my personal opinion. Taking a last look here at the Ichimoku cloud, pretty clear as day. We're going to be above all green lights there. There's not much else you can really note on situations like this, right? We can take a look, though. If we take a look at today's trading profile, we got the most amount of volume, coincidentally, at the lowest price point. But as the day continues to go higher, we're getting that support here, this volume support, right there at about 108. Okay, so again, it's important to build that support level at that level. So all in all, we're looking pretty decent here for this. Still a little early, of course, to kind of see that the average true range has adjusted, but the bottom line is that we are on the verge of a potential shift in momentum here. We just need to close at 108 or higher today. That's what I'm looking for. If we do retest 110 or 111, that may be a good consideration for a small short to 108. Again, no guarantees on that, but it's very frequent or common for these key level supports to be retested as a support once it's broken to ensure that it continues higher. So again, just common rinse and repeat action is for the price to break through resistance, come back to retest it, and then use that as a leg up or bouncing point. So if we consolidate this weekend at 108, it might be high time to consider a long position from 108 to the 111, 115, and 120 range. Again, just some thoughts there from a trader who's been trading for a very long time, and I have seen, oh my God, I eat, sleep, and breathe charts, and I tell you, I literally dream about crypto charts. It's the craziest thing. I'll discuss that later. Of course, we're going to start doing some more creative outlets through Twitter and a handful of other mediums, maybe some day trading with some of my day traders, perhaps even live, if you want to consider that, of course. But generally speaking, that's where we're at. Thanks again so much for joining me here. If you haven't already, like, follow, subscribe, greatly appreciate the support. Same thing here as well over at Cash Trading on our Twitter. We're trying to grow this out. We just started just a couple days ago, and really hope to get your support over there too. Like, follow, retweet, and all that good stuff. We'll have giveaways too for our membership for our community, of course. And something to note too, we just took some healthy profits here. It was a nice little, what is it, a good 7.8% in 18 minutes. So we caught that little long there from 25.6 to 25.8 on Bitcoin. More to come there as well. We got some awesome day trades and swing trades with our community. Be sure to jump on over to that cryptocash.tech as a site if you want to register. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one.